Welcome back to Osaka, Japan, and the men's 10,000-meter final on the track right now. 000m Bekele of Ethiopia, the favorite to win his third straight world championship, one of the greatest distance runners ever, the best of his generation. Set on their way. It's a 25-lap trip around this track. And this is the final with Bekele, the big favorite here, to add another medal to his impressive list. 24 runners, and you see the names of the competitors in our start list on your screen.
Well, the story of the 10,000 meters, Tom, at the World Track and Field Championships is absolute domination by African nations. The Ethiopians have won 12 medals and the Kenyans have won 10. Haile Gebrselassie, who was no longer running at the 10K, won 4 times from 93 to 99, and now it's the era of 000m Bekele. He's expected to win here tonight, and if he were not to win, it would be an absolute disappointment.
000m Tedesse of Eritrea moves out to take this early lead. He beat Bekele in the heat of Mombasa, Kenya earlier this year, and now he's back into second place as Tedesse Tola of Ethiopia takes over the advantage. He leads Tedesse of Eritrea, who's in second place, and you see the green jerseys of Ethiopia very prominent there, with 3 of the top 4 runners from Ethiopia.
And they actually have 4 entrants, Ethiopia does. You mentioned heat earlier, and the situation in Mombasa back in March, where Bekele had to drop out of an 8K, the World Cross Country Championships, and that is why he lost that race. But we also have a heat situation here. These athletes have had to trim their warm-ups to try and maintain the fluids inside their body to be ready to come out here and run 25 laps around this track. It is an absolute concern for all the athletes. And remember, the Ethiopians training in Addis Ababa, living at 7,000 to 8,000 feet. Well, it's a lot drier, and coming down here to this tremendous humidity will have an absolute effect on their performance.
Bekele right now is in third place as they continue around the track, and Gebrselassie of Ethiopia takes over in the 4th place. So look at the 4 Ethiopians just in amongst the leaders right now. But Tedesse of Eritrea is still in front with Tola of Ethiopia, then Bekele, the favorite, in third place.
Tom, first lap in 66.8 seconds, second one in 65.2 seconds, which means that the second lap obviously faster, but they've got a decent pace going here, right around 27:50 pace at the moment. But the Ethiopians are absolutely going to work together to try and set this up for Bekele to win, and then at some point it'll be every man for himself. But they are absolutely going to work together. We'll watch that develop as the race goes on.
Tedesse still has the lead with Tola second. Bekele is third. "22 laps remaining." They continue on their way with Tedesse, Tola, Bekele. There are 3 Americans in this race: Abdirahman, Nathan Ritzenheim, and Galen Rupp. And right now, Abdirahman about 11th place, the top American at the moment. So meanwhile, let's check in with Dwight Stones now for a report on the men's triple jump final. Thank you, Dwight. The men's 10,000 continues on the track. Tedesse of Eritrea leading. Gebrselassie of Ethiopia with Tola of Ethiopia. Bekele is there. Menjo of Kenya. Makambi of Tanzania in the yellow as they come through the home straightaway.
Tom, really unusual here to see a favorite like Tedesse leading so early. He must think that this fast pace is the best thing for him. And remember, we mentioned that this is really one of the storylines of this race, that the Ethiopians have 4 athletes, and they're all trying to set Bekele up for this win. And you might say that Tedesse is that villain out there in the midst of these Ethiopians trying to sabotage that plan. He believes it'll be the best for him to push the pace early and make these guys run harder than they want to earlier in this race.
Abdirahman is the top American, back in the middle of the pack with Ritzenhein and Rupp there together. You see one of the runners has fallen by the wayside here. It's Baru of Canada.
Well, you hate to see that.
So the 10,000 continues here on the track in Osaka. Just over 18 laps remaining. We'll take a break and be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Osaka, where the men's 10,000 meter final continues. And Tadesse of Eritrea has been jockeying back and forth for the lead, with Makami of Tanzania now on his heels in second. And Bekele, the favorite, is still up in there, 15 laps to go. Gebra Mariam is also up there, as are three Kenyans, Nedambiri, Matati, and Menjo.
Tom, as that battle continues up front by Tadesse and the other Ethiopians, there's an American who is in the mix, Abdirahman.
I see him ninth now.
He is in ninth. They're on the inside, very tall young man toward the back of the screen with the bald head and the white singlet. Abdirahman, Tom, came to the United States in January of 2000 from the war-torn country of Somalia. He and his mom, dad, three sisters and brothers settled in Tucson, Arizona, and told me about how honored he is to come to the World Track and Field Championships to represent his country, understanding that the United States has never had a medal in an event like this. And so he has that on his mind as he competes out here in this extreme heat against really extreme competition.
He's seventh on the inside here, as Tadesse continues to lead, but looming boldly behind him, Gebra Mariam and Bekele in the Ethiopian green. Also Sahin of Ethiopia now amongst the leaders, as they're running a second, third, and fourth. Then the three Kenyans, Nadambiri, Matathi, and Menjo. There's a look at Tadesse, who continues to lead the 10,000. Now for more of the men's triple jump, let's go back to Dwight. Thanks, Dwight. The men's 10,000 meters continues. 9 runners in that lead group now, with Tadesse of Eritrea continuing to lead. Gebra Mariam of Ethiopia is second. Bekele, the favorite of Ethiopia, in third. Then Sahin, another Ethiopian, followed by the Kenyans, Matathi and Nadambiri. Then Abdirahman has moved up into the 7th spot. Menjo of Kenya and Kiprop of Uganda. That's the lead pack of 9 with 10 laps to go.
Well, the men went through the 5K time at 13:49.90, so an honest pace. They're on the way to around 27-26 for finishing this 10K, but the gamesmanship continues as Tadesse is up against these 3 athletes from Ethiopia. And amazingly, Abdirahman is still right there. And you know, he told me, Tom, this morning that if this pace is fast and quick, it's exactly what he's looking for. He was hoping that the splits would be fast enough that he'd be able to stretch it out and stay with him. There's Abdirahman just leaving the screen on the right.
With the white, and he is in 7th place at the moment as the runners continue to fall by the wayside in the heat and humidity of Osaka in this grueling event. The lead pack about to lap one of the slower runners, still led by Tadesse of Eritrea, with Abdirahman in the hunt. We'll be back for the conclusion in a moment. Back in Osaka, where the men's 10,000 meters continues. The lead group now is 7. Tadesse of Eritrea leads it. Gebra Mariam of Ethiopia second. Bekele of Ethiopia third. Sahin of Ethiopia also there. Then 2 Kenyans, Matathi and Ndambiri. And then Abdirahman of the United States in 7th place with less than 7 laps remaining.
Now what Tadesse is doing, Tom, here is, you can compare it to boxing. He's been working the midsection of these Ethiopian athletes, trying to knock the wind out of them, trying to string this out, push the pace, force Bekele to run harder earlier than he expected. Because what he knows, what Tadesse knows, is that if Bekele waits late, he has a tremendous and dangerous kick and can easily drop the field. And there goes Bekele right now.
And here he comes. So Bekele moves up into second place behind Tedesse. So Bekele is in second. Gebremariam now back into third. In fact, Gebremariam now dropping back significantly after that move by his countryman Bekele. And Abdirahman falling further back now in 7th place and has lost contact with that lead group. Now for the conclusion of the men's triple jump, let's go back to Dwight. Okay, Dwight, now we have 4 laps remaining in the men's 10,000 meters, and the lead pack has separated it to 4 in the lead pack now, led by Zersene Tedesse of Eritrea. Kenenisa Bekele of Ethiopia second. Selesi Sihin of Ethiopia third. And Martin Matathi of Kenya in 4th. So those 4 continue to track it down the backside.
And so Tedesse Tom has to be thinking and wondering if his strategy is going to pay off by pressing the pace early, making Bekele run harder than he wanted to early. We're going to see as these final laps show themselves. But right now, Tedesse is still pushing the pace, and look at Bekele right on his outside shoulder.
So Tedesse still has the lead, but Bekele looming boldly up to challenge. And meantime, the Kenyan Matathi will take the advantage and will lead them past the finish line with 3 laps to go.
And now we're seeing a tremendous pickup in the pace. Tedesse has now dropped off that lead pack, and it's just down to 3, 64.9 seconds for that last lap. That is fast for 10K.
So it's down to 3 now for gold, silver, and bronze. Matathi of Kenya leads Bekele of Ethiopia and Sahin of Ethiopia. And we're still anticipating that late kick of Bekele, one of the great ones, looking to win his 3rd straight world championship in this event. He has 4 current world records: 2,000 meters indoors, 5,000 meters indoors and outdoors, 10,000 meters, 8 individual world cross-country titles, 2 Olympic medals, 1 of them gold, 3 world championship medals, 2 of them gold, and hoping to add another gold here as they continue on the way. We've seen this before, Kenya against Ethiopia. Right now, Kenya has the lead in the form of Martin Matathi, with Bekele and Sahin of Ethiopia second and third.
61 seconds on the last lap. They continue to run fast. But to continue on your thoughts about Bekele, he is such an unbelievable runner. Many would say that Gebre Selassie was the greatest distance runner ever. And some are saying, some experts believe that once this gentleman retires, that he will be the greatest runner ever. Bekele, again, showing his strength and speed and the ability to bounce back from a disappointing performance in the World Cross Country Championships, where he had to drop out due to extreme heat, weeks of underachieving and not being able to come back. But then before these World Championships, Bekele running a world-leading time for 5,000 meters and then a personal best in the 3,000 meters just before Osaka.
But falling a little further behind in 3rd place as the bell lap approaches. So now it's seeing who has the energy left as they complete 25 laps. And Sahin of Ethiopia and his countryman Bekele pass the Kenyan Matathi. It's between the 2 Ethiopians, as you said earlier. Now it's every man for himself. And Sahin is leading Bekele. They continue to lap slower runners. Sahin of Ethiopia, Bekele of Ethiopia, those 2 into the turn for home. Bekele narrowing the advantage with every stride after 25 laps. Look what he has left as they turn for home. Bekele sprints away from his countrymate into the home straightaway. Here's one of the greats, Bekele of Ethiopia, sprinting after 10,000 meters to take the victory, his 3rd straight world championship gold.
And Tom, his last lap around the track, 55.5 seconds. That is unbelievable for a man running 10,000 meters.
Sahin the silver and Matathi the bronze. But all hail one of the all-time greats as Bekele takes his third straight world championship. His countryman Haile Gebrselassie won 4 titles in world championship events. And as you said, the comparisons will continue. And we come back in a moment. We will have the event everyone's looked forward to tonight, the final in the women's 100-meter.